Hello, my name is Asowe Howell, and you are welcome to Moments with Reality. Today, I want us to talk about how we can collapse our walls. In my previous video, I spoke about the fact that there are three types of walls: physical wall, like this one, social walls, and then mental walls. Now, to collapse a physical wall like this one, all you need is either a hammer or a bulldozer, and this wall is down. Now, for the social walls, all you can do is to get up and walk out. If you don't like the political party that you belong to, or the religious group that you belong to, or your tribe or your country, you can walk out. It's as simple as that. A few documentations here and there, but by and large, you can just walk out of any group that you think you don't want to belong to anymore. So those two are pretty much easy to deal with. Now, the third wall, which is the mental wall, are the most dangerous, the most devastating, and the most hindering walls or fences or barriers that we can ever experience in our lives. In his book, Do the Work, Stephen Pressfield described them as resistances. They resist us from progressing in life. Therefore, if we do not deal with them, then we are not going to make any progress or advancement in life. So how do we deal with our mental walls of procrastination, mental walls of fear, mental walls of shyness, mental walls of inferiority or superiority complex, mental walls of whether things are possible or not, and so on and so forth? Now, I've discovered that there are 5 and more approaches to dealing with our mental walls, which I would like to share with you right now. I'm going to just deal with the 5 of them, or approaches, so how to deal with our mental walls, whether they are fear and so on and so forth. The first approach is called the Moses approach. The second one, the Joshua approach. The third one, the David approach. The fourth, Jesus approach. And the fifth, Paul approach. Now, what do I mean by these approaches? Of course, I'm taking all of them from the scriptures, the Bible. Now, Moses was leading the people of Israel from Egypt to the promised land. And at a point, they encountered a barrier called the Red Sea. And of course, you remember the story. They were being pursued by the Egyptians from behind. And therefore, Moses did not know what to do. But he said something that made a huge difference in the life of this journey. And all he said that, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. In the midst of your fears and procrastination and shyness, one of the things that you have to do to be able to overcome and collapse these walls is to stand still. Learn to be still, to be quiet, to be calm. There is power in stillness. And therefore, if you learn how to be still in the midst of the trouble, you would overcome this fear, whatever big or how small it is. The second one is the Joshua approach. And if you remember again, Joshua led the people of Israel to march around the wall of Jericho. And of course, on the 7th day, they shouted, and we are told that this wall collapsed. Ladies and gentlemen, this mouth is a very powerful tool. We must learn to use our mouth. Of course, when you tell somebody to shut up, you see how the person freezes. We must learn to use our mouth and say, shut up, whatever it is that is worrying and going on in your head. That fear that is going on in your head, you must learn to use the word shut up. When you say shut up, it will come again. When you say shut up, by the third time you say shut up, you realize that it vanishes. This is practical, and you need to try to see that it works. Like I said, if you don't deal with your fears will deal with you. They will stop you. They will stop you from moving forward. Because we are told that fear freezes. They cripple us from making or taking any action. The third approach is the David approach. Again, remember that there was a war between the people of Israel and Philistines, and Goliath came out and said that, choose one person, come and face me. And everybody was afraid. Lo and behold, this young man comes onto the scene. And then he elected himself to go and face Goliath. And we are told that when Goliath took a step towards him, David ran towards him. The third approach. You must learn to run towards your fears. You must learn to run towards the things that are intimidating you. Because when you begin to run towards them, what you are doing is that you are sending confusing signals. They are wondering what you are running to. Because they know that you are an afraid man. They know that you are fearful. And therefore, when you are beginning to run towards them, you set confusion completely among them. And we all know that the end of that story. The fourth approach is the Jesus approach. Again, we are told that one day the people marched Jesus onto a cliff. They wanted to throw him over the cliff. Now, when he got to the cliff, we are told that he just turned and faced them. and he began to walk right through them. And I'm sure that people was wondering what this guy is doing. What audacity, what confidence, what boldness, what courage. He walked right through them and nobody could do anything. Guys, you must learn to walk through your fears. Walk through them with this calmness, with this confidence, with this assurance, because they are not too sure what you are doing. But you know who you are. You know that they cannot stop you once you decide that you want to collapse these mental walls. Like I said, these walls will stop you if you don't stop them. Our final approach to collapsing our walls is the Paul's approach. Again, we are told of a story where Paul had a shipwreck with some prisoners, and then they landed on an island. Of course, they were cold, and therefore they decided to warm themselves by setting up fire. So in the midst of picking up the stakes, snake came out of the stake and wrapped itself around the hand of, or the arm of Paul. Now the people were expecting Paul to die. All Paul did was to calmly shake off the snake into the fire. And nothing happened to Paul. And when nothing happened to Paul, they changed their mind that Paul was a god. That is who we are. If we learn to calmly shake off our fears, you need to shake off that fear. Shake off that shyness. Shake off that intimidation. Shake it off. That is the only way. That barrier, that wall, that fence, that water will collapse from you to move forward in life. Like I said, if you want to move forward in life, you must deal ruthlessly with your mental walls. Kill them before they kill you. Otherwise, you'll never make progress in life. Remember, you are more than a conqueror, and walk in this mentality of who you are. God bless you.